Mr. Agnarski will join us very shortly. Welcome to our little truck program. My name is Mike Miller. I'm the English teacher here. And one of the areas I get to teach is truck, which is completely not English. And we're going to explain today what truck is all about. We actually have a student here, Anna, who's going to kind of explain her truck project. Hopefully what she says helps support what Mr. Agnarski and I are going to give to you. But truck, basically, if any of the kids or any of your children are in a STEM program, this is very much modeled like a STEM program. It's project inquiry-based learning. But it's our own version of it. It's not quite STEM. Truck is designed to take one of two classes. First of all, it has to be an elective class. And the elective class, the reason why the student would take an elective class through the truck program is because, number one, it's currently not offered here. All right, come on in, we're just getting started. It's a class that's not offered, and the child has a desire to learn this particular subject. Well, then this is the program for them. The other way truck works for kids is the elective is offered, but it really doesn't fit in the child's schedule to do having to have this class this hour, this class hour. One of the subjects I teach is telecommunications, video production. I have a lot of kids who sometimes have a very difficult time. It's only offered first hour, and they can't take it first hour because there's something else they have to have first hour. Well, then they can do their video production work in a truck environment because it's more flexible for their schedule. So, just I guess to start out with, truck is a completely elective program for elective credit. Students either take it because the course is not offered at Washington West, so it's a completely different thing to learn that's currently being offered, or it's a different way to fit it in their schedule. We're hoping one day to branch it into getting some of the core classes, like an English class or a Phi-Ed class. But right now, we're just at the elective courses.
Yep. I have one of his students, second hour I teach coding. His truck project has evolved into coding, so he comes and hangs out with me, kind of joins the class. He's doing his own project, but I'm there if he needs a resource, and he's been asking other students for help as well, so it's worked out pretty well.
So in the end, we ask truck kids, what do you want to learn? How do you want to learn it? And then what are you going to create that demonstrates what you have learned? And as a parent or as a child, you might be thinking initially, man, what do you actually do in truck? And we do have a pretty stringent week by week, this is the objective, this is the objective, this is the objective. And when all is said and done, by the end of this semester-long project, a semester-long journey of learning, they've gone through research, they've gone through a creation of a project, and then hopefully they've gone through a public display or presentation of their learning, and even a more ideal basis, hopefully the thing that they have learned, that they have done, has actually gone out to the public. For example, last semester, one of my telecommunications students couldn't take class with me, so he was in Mr. Agnarski's truck class, and he actually created a video for the Eaton Power Company, which they have a couple workshop branches, but the video he created was designed for their international business partners in doing. I'll put it this way: the products he was demonstrating and teaching potential Eaton consumers about are not things you buy at a Menards or a Home Depot. It's for high wire, high voltage type things. And so it was just a way for him to advance his video production skills, and certainly the thing that he created is being seen very much publicly. And Eaton was actually generous enough to give us some money as a thank you for creating the video for them. So it all worked out in the end.
Another piece that Mike might have missed, I'm sorry, I got here a little late. I'm Mr. Agnarski. I'm a business marketing computer teacher here at West, also a truck teacher. But the part that I like the most is getting these students talking to professionals.
Yes.
Did you mention that?
I did not.
Okay, I think that is honestly the coolest piece. I had a senior last year who was interested in getting into politics and law, and we took a field trip out to the Capitol. She met with Scott Allen. Scott Allen pointed her to someone else. She sat down and talked to her for I don't know, an hour, and at the end of the meeting, she offered her an internship this summer. So now she's working for her, going to Marquette, and I mean, she tweeted out to me, I think a few months ago, saying that, without Shrek, she would not be where she is right now as a freshman at Marquette. So it's really what you make of it. We had a student make the cafe last year too. She wanted to know more about entrepreneurship. Her parents were entrepreneurs, and I said, well, there's been talk about building a cafe, and it's never really taken off, so let's do this. So she found all the loopholes to sell what we're selling and do what we're doing, and how to hiring employees and marketing and checking what inventory to have and what to sell it at a reasonable price and still make a profit. So it's quite an amazing process, I think, for a high school student who honestly did not find the normal classroom setting appealing. She's like, I've learned more in this one year than I've learned. Unfortunately, because she's just not in the traditional school. She went far.
And certainly, kids do research all the time, and what Mr. Garski just said is what makes our research very unique is the connection to live sources and finding those real live people. I have a student right now who is into illustrating. She's a very good illustrator, and she has 3 different publishers interested in some children's stories she has written. They want to see her illustrations, and what's really unique is she has 3 different publishers, each asking for different interpretations of it. So she has to illustrate her own story in 3 different ways. And so this is a way for her to advance her art skills in a different way than the art classes have to offer, a different way to improve her writing skills than the English classes have to offer. I mean, this is a perfect fit for her. I have another student and so she's connected with all these publishers, these live sources. I have another student who wants to compete with the online YouTube gaming type channels. These guys that are rumored to make millions of dollars sitting at home playing video games, capturing it on their device. He kind of wants in on that, and I get it. It's an attractive lure, and so he's investigating that, and he's actually connecting with face-to-face and via Skype these people that actually do make a lot of money sitting in their basement playing video games. And it's an opportunity for him to learn that, and he's actually created a business plan to create his own, market his own channel, and he's now in the process of creating his videos. Again, something that he wanted to learn that no other class really in this building could offer him that opportunity. So I guess
Have you introduced Anna?
and that's what's good. So we've given you all these overviews and examples. I think Anna would be the perfect person right now to kind of explain what she's doing and how she represents Trek.
All right, so I came into Trek knowing that I wanted to look more into bioethics. It was a career that I just wanted to look into. And so I did some research overall bioethics, some subtopics. I went through some case studies with the class. And my dad found a connection through the Medical College of Wisconsin and a professor named Ryan Spalesi. And with him, I called him and emailed him, and we talked about different things within bioethics that he was interested in, things that I could be interested in. And from there, I started exploring physician's assisted suicide. And now I did a survey around the school just to get a general idea of what people thought of physicians-assisted suicide, and I talked to the Hemlock Society, which is in San Diego, that they are pro-physicians-assisted suicide, and now I'm just kind of trying to make a mock statement that I could send to like a senator about why I think physicians-assisted suicide should be legal in Wisconsin. So that's kind of my final project.
And kind of the underlying lessons that I think she's learned is she's talking to these professors. I mean, you don't just talk to a professor like it's your high school buddy. She's writing emails to these, societies and colleges and doctors as well. And you don't just write an email. She's learning how to write professional emails and talk professionally as well. I mean, it's been awesome to see her grow. It's been awesome to see all my kids kind of grow in that mature manner, talking to these people who are, fairly important.
So there's the individual component of Trek. What the individual student wants to learn, that they're passionate about, what they want to create, and how they're going to demonstrate that and show it for everyone. Besides the individual component of Trek, there's a group component, a community service project. And last year, all the Trek classes kind of did their own thing. and we can share our examples. But whereas this year, we're going to do a group project. For example, last year, my class, there's now a bus shelter out for the kids that take the public bus to Waukesha West. I was leaving school one day in the fall. It was raining, and there are kids out there, and there was no shelter. And it just dawned on me, why don't we have a shelter for the kids that take the bus? So I posed that question to the kids, and then I just sat back, and they were the ones that worked with this city bus department. They were the ones that worked with this school district buildings and grounds and making sure everybody was on the same page. And once everything thawed in the spring, we had a bus shelter out there. And then this fall, it was raining. I was leaving. And there's kids sitting in the shelter, not getting wet, waiting for the bus. Community service project. I just posed the idea, and the kids took it from me.
We went to Madison to the Capitol. Not only did my student get to meet Scott Allen, the student who did the cafe, we went to the cafe, had breakfast, and she talked to the manager. I had a student who did the video from Mr. Miller here. He took video of the whole field trip, made a summary video of our experience. So I mean, it was a whole class project. And then while we were out there, it was in the winter, and they saw this tree with scarves and hats and mittens on it. And they walked up and like, what's kind of going on here? It was a giving tree for people who need, those kind of things. So they're like, well, let's go back to Waukesha. They went down to St. Vinny's. They were so grateful in donating hats and scarves and mittens for us. We came back here that day. They wrote poems. They sat on their laptops, wrote poems that we attached to the scarves. Strung them up. Newspaper came out and took pictures of us hanging them up down by the Fox River there, down by Main Street. And it was just it was an amazing experience that all these kids could get fired up for that in one day and get it done within like 3-4 hours. So they put their nose to the grindstone.
And the great thing about these community service projects, they're not graded. And the kids work harder on that than the stuff that they're being graded on, because they just know it's the right thing to do, and it's a great growing opportunity, not only as an individual, but as a group. This year, we are working with the Make-A-Wish Foundation, and we are hosting what they call a Wish Week. We have found an area child who has a wish, who is suffering from electronic, has a Disney wish and would like to go to Disney World. So next week, all the truck classes are sponsoring different activities throughout the week, and whatever money we make by the end of the week goes 100% towards the funds that are going to be needed for this young boy and his family to be able to go to Disney. And it's been a great thing for us as all 3 different classes are trying to figure out what we can do individually, what activities can we do collectively, and we have 5 days worth of fundraising coming up next week. So, again, and the kids are more into that right now than they are into making $1 million on YouTube. It's just insane. It's all coming together.
You guys got any questions for us?
I will say, as 8th graders, this is a hard class to work into your schedule. Okay? There aren't a lot of room for electives as an 8th grader. But certainly if you have room, you would not be the first freshman at all in the term. Okay? We found that we get more in sophomores and juniors and seniors, but I will be the first to tell you that if you're a freshman in a truck class with a bunch of juniors and seniors, the first thing those juniors and seniors are going to do is make you feel welcome and make you feel part of the group. And you can be one of those rare freshmen who know a couple seniors, and therefore your other freshman peers might be very cool. Because you know some seniors, right?
No, Anna's my only girl student in my class, and I have, it's sophomore, junior boys.
It's her and the 6 foot tall captain of the soccer team, who couldn't be more nice, right? He could be a little. No.
It's been a blast.
Is it an elective they only can take once?
Take it as many times as you want.
As long as they can put it in.
Another thing that I find just amazing about this class is I'm a computer business marketing guy. I never thought I'd be talking for 2 days about bioethics to a class for students who are doing Photoshop and coding and t-shirt design and marketing. Anna brings up these questions, and like I said, she's the only female freshman in the class, and she has these guys like doing circles like, I don't know, what would you do? Like, what's right answer? What's the wrong answer? So not every day do we focus on your project. There's some days where we sit and we talk about Anna's, or we figure out different ways to market for the cafe, or we sit down and we brainstorm for a student's app that he's making for his iPhone. So not only are they learning about what they want to learn about, but they're getting a dose of everything that's going on in that class.
So they're contributing to the other individuals,
Without a doubt.
their business plans or.
And connecting with each other.
And I think that's so cool,
Yeah.
because these kids just challenge each other. They, well, why are you doing this? Why don't you do this? Or what about this? And it's the light bulbs that turn on in this class. It's just, I think, really cool.
Probably the only other thing you would need to understand is, how does this look on a report card? It does not look like an independent study at all. What it looks like, it says the word Trek, and then a specific college and career strand. So for example, with bioethics, are you health and medical occupations? Okay, so she's getting health and medical occupations credit. And that's something, these different career strands are something every single college and university understand. These are universal, like, tags, if you will. For example, my YouTuber, he is taking Arts, AV, Technology, and Communication class. And everybody goes, okay, it's a techie type class, right? Somebody else is, like the cafe, it was a business management career strand. So it's all labeled very easily, so it doesn't say like independent study, because that has a kind of a connotation to it. Independent study means, I don't want to be part of a classroom, and I want to do something on my own, and kind of lazy. That's not the image that we are trying to create. I think the way we label the classes helps colleges and universities understand what the kids are doing and see the challenge behind it.
I mean, we can essentially take any idea the kid has and
Yes.
turn it into something.
Yep.
It's like, did you talk about lucid dreaming? I'm not sure if I
Yeah.
had you said it, lucid dreaming, and
Well, I had one student last year, just give one more example, Division I scholarship athlete for lacrosse. Well, he wanted to create his own workout program because he needed to challenge himself to get him from a high school senior to D1 college lacrosse. So, yes, you could have taken an elective FIED class, but instead he chose to create and research his own workout and diet, and created a cookbook, created a workout book, and just made it as an ebook so it's publishable to the internet. If anybody that is interested in becoming a healthier athlete, it's available somewhere out there on the web. So just, we can make anything work. Any questions?
How many kids do you have in your average class?
I have 7 in mine.
I have 9 in mine, and I have one student who's not even in Trek, but likes the idea of it so much he has released that hour. He comes and hangs out, just because he's doing like IT security, so he's been hanging out pretty much all semester, and he's taking it next semester. I've had students, I think this semester it really blew up. I'm actually double teaching a keyboarding class and a Trek class first hour. I've had 5 kids say, hey, I want to take Trek, but it doesn't fit in my schedule, so I figured, hey, I can teach keyboarding and Trek at the same time. And
Yep. Last year I taught telecommunications and a journalism class at the same time because the kid wanted to do journalism but couldn't fit it in. Like, when do you have study hall? 8th hour, no longer. All right, you don't have study hall 8th hour anymore. You now are in with me doing Trek while I'm doing telecommunications. I think an ideal load would be no more than 10, because at what, I guess I don't know what Hester said, at any given time, let's say we're in a class of 10, we have 10 different kids at 10 different stages of 10 different projects. And that can be a pretty intense environment. Even though you hear there's only 10 kids in the class, with the type of things we're doing, like reaching out to live sources and helping each other out with projects and building a community service project, it can get pretty intense with just 8 kids, 9 kids. Any other questions?
this is what you make it.
Yes. We had one kid last year that never played an instrument in his life. Wanted to learn how to play an instrument. So he learned the ukulele, learned how to tune it. He bought a ukulele. How do I tune it? What is a chord? How do I tune to that chord? And we had a talent show here. At the end of the year, there he was, ukulele away. while he had somebody sing for him, he's all ready for the college bonfire. So, it was great. I mean, he learned something. He flat out said, I've taken just about every kind of course I could here, except for a music course. This was his opportunity.
Yeah.
Well, thanks.
Thank you.
Spread the word, positive things.